Hey guys, Bart from TST Industries here. In this video we're going to show you how to install this TST Industries Integrated Taillight on a 2003 to 2006 Honda CBR 600RR. Our taillights are available in clear or smoked lens. They feature 80 super bright LEDs and they are plug and play with all connectors included. The installation is very fast and easy, so let's go ahead and start. So in the first step, we're going to remove the seats. Remove the passenger seat. And the driver's seat needs to be removed. Peel back on it a little bit and then unscrew these two screws here. I like to leave them in. Makes reinstallation simpler. Pull up on the seat and slide it back and put it to the side. So now we'll need to remove the rear cowling along with these side panels that run down both sides of the bike. To do this, we will be removing these 4 fasteners, these 2 fasteners, and then 2 fasteners that are located here and on the other side in the same location. And then also 2 friction fasteners located in the front of the side panel. All that you need to do is pull it straight out. This is the friction fastener. It fits into a rubber grommet. So again, snap this out and proceed to the disassembly of all these components. One thing I need to note here is that this is an 0506 unit. On the 03 to 04 600RR, these 2 components are going to be slightly different, and then they're going to require a different disassembly method. It is still very similar to this disassembly method, so we will not be shooting a separate video for that bike, as the rest of the steps are pretty much the same. All right, so let's go on to the next step. Now that we have all those fasteners out of these components, we can begin prying away the components, making sure they are loose and ready for removal. Then we will grab one side of the tail, flex it up and over. We'll need to clear this subtray geometry here. And do that on both sides. Now unplug the taillight. Single white plug here in the back. This little tab needs to be pried up so that this releases, just like this. And now we could move the tail assembly to the side. So for the purpose of this installation, we will be removing the rear fender assembly here with the license plate holder. And we will also be doing a fender eliminator install. The TST fender eliminator mounts right here under the bike. That will be covered in a separate video, but this step will be common to both of those videos. If you want to see that video, you can click on the link at the end of this video, or just check the Honda category of our channel. So next step, we'll begin by removing these 4 fasteners, 2 on each side. What I like to do is loosen all of them without taking them off completely. And then what I like to do is remove the plugs for the signals, if there are any on the bike at the moment. This bike has signals that are installed on the fender, so they will have to come off with the fender. Again, we will pry up on the plug tab and withdraw the male plug. So sometimes it is difficult to pry up on the tab and pull the plug out by hand. So what I'd like to do is use a little flathead screwdriver to help in that process. All right. Now we can just back out the rest of the fasteners holding the fender assembly on by hand. And put the fender to the side. All right, so now we will be removing the tail light from the tail assembly here. Working from the bottom of the assembly, we can use a Phillips screwdriver to remove the two screws holding the tail light and its bracket to the tail component. Now the tail light is free to come out. And now we will need to remove this bracket from the tail light by removing these two 8mm nuts. All right, now the bracket just slips off. Make sure you route the wire here with the shielding and the plug through the grommet. Put your OEM taillight to the side. Now grab the TST Industries taillight. Route the plugs through the grommet. You will have to go one plug at a time. They all don't fit through there. All right, arrange the bracket like so and replace the 8mm nuts on the threaded studs that protrude from the back of the taillight. What I like to do is bottom these out by hand and then finish tightening them with a tool, and I only give them another quarter turn, making sure I don't damage the threaded studs or the taillight, but I do achieve the lock on the threads, so that way during vibration this won't come loose and taillight won't come out. Okay, so now we will replace the taillight and bracket assembly within the tail. You will have to make sure that these tab features on the taillight fit properly into the accepting geometry here on the tail. Just like that, okay? So now this assembly looks good. We can proceed to screwing it back together with the screws that we removed from the original assembly. Once again, I like to lock down the threads by giving it approximately a quarter turn. And now this assembly is ready to be put back on the bike. Now at the first step of reassembly here on the bike, we will lay this assembly down on top of the sub tray here. And what we'll want to do is plug everything in. You have the 3-conductor plug that goes into the main plug where your tail light came out of. And then signals get plugged in like this. So next, before proceeding any further in the reinstallation, I like to test the function of the component that I just installed. So as you can see, running light works well, brake light works well, and we have signals working. These signals are actually flashing just a little bit too fast. To cure that problem, we include a set of resistors that need to be wired in with every one of these kits. If you don't want to wire in resistors, we also sell a plug-and-play relay. You can see the installation video of that relay in our Honda category. All right, now that I've verified the function of the taillight, I'm going to take care of the wiring here. Make sure the protective boot that comes on the OEM harness here fits over all these wires and plugs. And I will now route this wire from the taillight through its clip here. And now I'll go ahead and stretch the left side of the tail fairing of the sub tray here. Now I will do the same on the right side. All right, now I have all my fastener holes realigned with the mating geometry on all the other components that tail screws into. I'll push in the friction fasteners here on these side panels. And now I'm ready to reinstall all the fasteners. All right, so after the reassembly of all the fasteners and the seats, we are done with the installation and we're ready to ride.